It's 9 a.m. on a Thursday morning. It's time now for Our Town here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swenson. Our Town, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. A little later on in the program, we'll get an update on the efforts to host RAGBRAI in West Union. Matt Marsula from the West Union Chamber, Main Street West Union, and West Union Economic Development will join us. We'll have our monthly get-together with Decorah City Manager Travis Goedken, but our first guest this morning steal some work that my friend and colleague Janelle Halverson did. She had a chance to talk to Daryl Hinton. He is discussing the Wenatchee Medical Center Hospice Memorial Ride that'll be coming up this Saturday. That conversation will kick off Our Town, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust on 94.9 and 99.1 The River.
In the studio with me, my friend Daryl with Iron Hill Power Sports, and we're talking about the hospice ride. It's that time of the year. The Hospice Memorial Ride comes up.
This year it's on June 12th. We'll start down at the hospital. We'll have a breakfast down there.
Okay.
Sign-ins from 9 to 10:30, and then we'll leave at 11. We're going to head out of town and up the Locust Road, and about a 140-mile trip this year. We'll end in Calmer at Pivo.
Okay, fun.
Having us over there. So
all right.
We'll have some stops to build your poker hand, and cars, trucks, motorcycles, anybody's welcome that wants to go.
That's the unique part about this one, too. You're looking at all vehicles. It doesn't have to just be one variety or another.
Exactly. And this is, it's more of a laid-back ride.
Yep.
It always has been. I always tell everybody it's people that I see every year, and when Clemishes did the ride, it was the people I look forward to seeing every year, too.
Very nice. So it's a good crowd if you've never participated. So start the day with breakfast. That's Sunday, June the 12th. And then there'll be stops along the way for your poker hand, but then also for snacks and
door prizes. We're going to have a silent auction at the end.
Okay.
So they're putting some baskets together. We've had very good response from local community to put stuff together to have
very cool
silent auction items. So,
and let's talk a little bit about who this benefits.
This is for the hospice group out at the Wenatchee Memorial Hospital. These are the people that take care of people at the end of life. There's no better way to say it. These gals are angels. It's a service that they offer in the area. And a lot of people come up to you at the ride and tell you their story, which is very heartfelt. I know when the Clemishes did it, Teresa and I would stand there and cry on each other's shoulders
every year. But these stories are important, and stories that a lot of people have. A lot more people have been touched by the folks at Wenatchee WMC Hospice than a person realizes.
Yes, it is. And I think that's really what brings a lot of the bigger donations in is people understand where it goes and what they do. And we sure appreciate any donations we can get to help them.
They are a gift. Angels, as you say. It's a pretty neat way to be able to support them. It's a $15 donation just to be on the ride, but then there's all kinds of other neat things that happen throughout the day.
Yep.
And it's going to just be a great way to see it. What a beautiful ride, too. So can you talk about the whole route?
Well, we're going to leave Decorah and go up to Spring Grove. We'll stop in Spring Grove for our first stop, back down to Dorchester, up to Eitzen, and have our second stop. Jump down to the river and come down to Lansing and back up to Waukon. We'll stop at Goodfellows in Waukon.
Sure.
Generally, we'll have some sandwiches there. And then we're going down to Gunder.
Oh, nice.
Want to make sure everybody knows Gunder's open.
Beautiful trip. Yes, and they are fairly recently open again, so very exciting.
A few miles from them, so we want to make sure everybody knows that Gunder's open.
Yep.
Then we'll swing through the back way through Elgin and down through Claremont along Great River Road. Depending on construction, through Ocean.
Right.
I'm going to come back through Ocean and down through Festina and up to Calmer to Pivo. So about 140 miles. Should be great roads. We've always had
beautiful trip.
Good bunch of people to ride with. It's a lead ride, so you don't have to worry about where you're going. We'll take you there.
Okay, gotcha, yep.
I'll get with police departments and get some stops on the road so we don't have traffic bothering us.
Yep.
But Yeah, it's always a good ride. It's always fun. To rain or shine, it's going to be a good ride.
And this is any vehicles. Can't stress that enough.
Yep.
And again, supporting just a great organization. The WMC Hospice serves Al McKee, Clayton, Chickasaw, Fayette, Howard, and Winnebago counties. And so this is not just a localized just to Decorah or Winnebago County.
No,
this is
no,
our entire listening area.
The outreach is broad there, and we have a lot of people from the community just show up for the breakfast. It's free will offering. If you want to kick something in for it, that's fine. If you're going on the ride, you're paying your $15. That's part of it. We generally have quite a little bit of contribution that way as well.
Very nice. So you can see them off if you can't participate in the entire day. That's circle it on your calendar, Sunday, June 12th. Thank you so much again for coming in.
And if you need information, you can call the hospice at 563-387-3024, or you can get a hold of me, 563-423-5564.
Thanks so much for coming in, Daryl. It's always great to see you.
Yep, thank you.
Have a safe ride.
All right.
Time now for our monthly check-in with the city manager of Decorah, Mr. Travis Goedken, and a lot of things discussed Monday night by the Decorah City Council. And one thing that's getting the most news right now is the proposed Quick Start on College Drive. What's coming next regarding that process?
Yeah, Darren, certainly a lot of public interest in the Quick Start project. The council last night did set a public hearing for the site plan, and will consider the approval of the site plan at their June 20th meeting. Initially, it was discussed having a special meeting. That way, this is the one and only topic discussed that night. Unfortunately, it didn't seem that all the council members could attend except on our regular schedule. So we're going to have a slight change from the way our normal council meetings are handled. We're going to hold a special meeting, and I'm using air quotes, special meeting to start early and handle our normal business starting around 4:00. And then the public hearing portion will be set as part of the regular meeting at 5:45. So that way residents can have a better understanding of what that true start time might look like. So if our normal business pushes us beyond 5:45 for a bit, we're still legally able to hold a meeting and convene that at 6:15, but it will not start before that.
And related to this from a procedural standpoint, the Planning and Zoning Commission has approved the site plan for this proposed Quick Start, and it was backed up by a decision by the Board of Adjustment after the appeal was made. Does the council have to accept this site plan as is? Can they make changes to the site plan? What are the council's options on that June 20th meeting?
Yes. So Darren, the council has a couple options. One is approve as is, the other outright denial. But of course, any number of middle ground as well. They can approve with modifications to where a proposed sidewalk might be on the site plan, or where a proposed building sits on the site. I know the number of pumps has been a topic of discussion. So there's any number of things that the council can approve with modifications to. Another potential middle ground is table and defer back to the developer for them to just take the general comments that they've heard and come back with a different proposal. That's another option.
If that happens, they would have to go back to P&Z, or could they just go back to council?
They could go back to just council then.
And if the site plan is modified at the request of council at all, would that be a case where they just go back to council, or would they have to go back to planning and zoning, or would there be some factors involved in that?
You know, I'm thinking John Anderson, the city attorney, is going to tell me that's going to depend on the scope. So I do believe that for most purposes, council can just approve with required changes, but there might be some instance where it's quite drastic, that might require it to be kicked back to P&Z for their review as well.
And you're not an attorney, and neither do you play one on Zoom interviews either, right?
I don't Zoom interviews, no.
Another issue that was discussed last night, the second reading of the conditional rezoning for Prairie Lakes Church. How'd that go?
There was slight conversation, minimal discussion prior to, but it did pass 4-3 and will be on for a third and final reading at the June 20th meeting.
Also, another topic of discussion is the North Alley and improvements related to that. And I understand you got a special meeting coming up this week regarding that. Is that correct?
That's correct. On Wednesday, it's more a work session of the council because it's going to be pretty informal. It's more or less a meeting with Bolton and Mink, get the city council's take on the North Alley project. And it's the first of several meetings with Bolton and Mink on the North Alley planning process, at which point there'll be several opportunities for public comment, public input, and participation, quite frankly, on the planning process.
What are you looking at doing in the North Alley, or can you really answer that question yet?
Yeah, that's really too early to tell at this point, Darren. The outcome of this project will be, what are we looking to do with the North Alley area?
All right, another topic that was discussed Monday night, Fifth Avenue Bridge lights. What's up with that?
Yeah, we did have a resident that was interested in paying for the installation of lights that were originally slated to go on the Fifth Avenue Bridge, but were removed for various reasons. And council did discuss that briefly. It did want to express appreciation for that individual's interest, but ultimately did choose to reject the offer to install, because of course then the city would maintain ownership and there'd be costs on the operations of the lights as well.
And I know discussion was held Monday night and a little bit before regarding the Senior Citizen Center here in town. What's going on that front?
Yes. So that specific item there was really gauge the temperature of the water with the council. The Senior Citizens group had given all the council members a letter that had expressed they were interested in becoming a part of the city in some fashion. And so last night was really to have council discuss, is this something they want us to consider? From any spectrum of things could happen. One being simply city owns the building to help offset and cover insurance costs, and everything else is leased back to the Senior Citizens group. They operate everything as they do today. Well, to the other end of the spectrum, where the city owns, fully operates, all revenues, rents come into the city, all expenses are borne by the city. But here is an agreement with the Senior Citizens group for your different programming and opportunity to gather, socialize, play cards, expectations there. And of course, plenty of middle ground. Ultimately, council said, yes, this is something they are interested in. So we will schedule a joint work session with the Senior Citizens.
And I see you got a couple of opportunity for citizens to get involved on commissions and boards. Is that correct?
Yep. We do currently have 2 openings, one on tree board. The city's tree board has an opening, open until filled. It's been there a little bit. The other, Planning and Zoning Commission, did have a member choose to step down. And so deadlines for that first round of applications will be the 15th of this month, and looking to have a potential appointment at the June 20th meeting.
And related to what's going on in the city, a lot of high headline stuff going on right now, but anything we're missing, anything else you want to pass on to the citizens this morning?
Yeah, one thing that did come up during public comment and another item on the C3 design public hearing that really want to push out to residents, the MOU with Decorah Real Estate Fund that the council approved, not this previous meeting, but the one prior, The whole premise behind the MOU is, again, to gauge the interest of council. Is this something the council is even willing to consider? And so the city has not agreed to sell the co-op parking lot at this point. They have said, yes, we'll entertain that based on a possible project of about 40 residential units that would include a combination of public and private parking. And so, that comment came up, and I again want to emphasize it's a non-binding memorandum of understanding that says, yes, the council is willing to consider this. And so the developer can go ahead and incur additional costs on site plan design and architectural renderings, so they can come back with a future proposal that at that time the city can consider.
And how much of a challenge is that location from a site plan and an architectural standpoint? Because we've all seen the parking lot. I remember it when it was a Fairway parking lot way back in the day. If you lost control of your shopping cart, it ended up at City Hall. How much of a challenge is it to develop that site into something other than a parking lot?
Well, as a previous visitor to Decorah that's parked in that parking lot as well, God forbid you lose control of the stroller. That's almost worse than a grocery cart. But you're right. It can be a bit challenging, but can also be an opportunity. I think one of the aspects of that lot with that slope, the developers looking at the potential for 2 floors or a floor and a half of parking, because think of a walkout garage. If you've got a lower access on the rear side of the building, and then you can go up a level and have an additional access exit off of the side, again on that second level, it is both a challenge and an opportunity. So I think there are things about it that bode well for potential development.
Travis, we appreciate your time as always. Thanks for the check-in on all things happening in the city of Decorah. Looks forward to our next conversation, which will happen in the month of July.
Thank you very much, Darren. I appreciate it.
Travis Goedken, Decorah City Manager. In about 7 weeks, RAGBRAI will be coming to Northeast Iowa. And let's get an update on what the city of West Union is doing regarding getting ready for RAGBRAI with Main Street West Union's Matthew Marsula. And Matt, I'd imagine things are just ramping into gear and getting busy, or maybe they always have been busy since the announcement was made this past winter. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been a lot of work from day one. It's been a steady stream. I think now that we're less than 2 months out, riders have geared up. They're making their plans, trying to get things in order for the week. And as we are the final overnight stop, they're giving us a call all hours of the day and night, trying to get information and secure housing and just learn about what's going to be going on here.
When it comes to the committee's work right now, what's your main focus?
Housing and volunteers, though, it's pretty much a 50-50 split right now. We've gotten the way I like to break down any event that we do, you got your flash and your substance. When we first started, we focused really on the substance, your skeletal structure for the event, making sure we got our ordinances squared away, rented our porta potties, got all the supplies done, things like that. And then that allowed us to focus a little bit on our flash, which is, really promoting the events, having fun with things, interacting with the community. We've got some exciting promotional things that are going to be going out soon. Some people maybe find a welded bicycle display in their lawn, to which they can pay like $10 to have it moved to someone else's lawn. And that's a fun way to raise some funds for this, promote the event. We are also on weekly on one of our local radio stations here, promoting different aspects of it, as well as active on our Facebook and local newspaper here. So we're having a lot of fun in that regard. But the 2 main pieces now that we've got most of what we need done is housing for riders, because 25,000 people in a town of 2,500. If everybody could take 100 people, we'd be okay. But the reality is we've got a main campground, which will house a lot of the riders that day, but we have some smaller big groups, which is kind of an oxymoron there, but 20 to 30 people groups that are looking for something quieter so that they can unwind as soon as they're done eating and enjoying the music and kind of be away from the masses. So they're really looking for some housing in that regard.
What direction will the bikers be coming into West Union? What direction will they be going out of town?
So they're actually coming in through 150 South. So they're cutting through the county road there in between Hawkeye and West Union. The number, I've drawn a blank here, but they hop on to 150 South for a short while, and then they're turning on 56, and that's when they're in West Union, and then they come right through the town. And we've got them coming right through our main right up the main drag there on Vine Street, and then hopping over to Pine all the way to their campground. And they'll get a chance to drive right through or right next to our downtown to kind of get a glimpse of what awaits them once they unpack and, come here and get their food, music, and enjoy the festivities. When they leave. Yep.
Go ahead. I didn't let you answer the second part of the question.
Yeah. So leaving, they're going to Elgin, and they're taking Golden Road. So they're going to hop on to 18, which is the other intersecting highway that's at the heart of West Union. And they're heading to Elgin, which I believe is east of us. And then they'll take Golden Road out there. And then from there, I think their next meetup town is Waukon. And then they head over to Lansing.
And when it comes to the stuff to do when folks get to West Union, what have you established when it comes to entertainment, food, etc.?
Yeah, we've got a really healthy, diverse entertainment selection right now. We have music starting at 10 o'clock for the early birds who get here. And that's going to be on a second stage set up on a different corner of our downtown courthouse square. We have 3 separate acts there, Bo Timmerman. Then we have the Swing Crew, and then finishing out that would be the Barflies. Then our main stage kicks on, and we'll have a local act, Steve Schroeder. Then we move on to Rolling Thunder, which is like an AC/DC cover band. And then we've got Arch Allies, which is very popular in the area, and they do a great deal of work. Leading, up to the main stage. Prior to that, if people aren't into the music or they want to do something else, we've got some wrestling that'll actually be here. So we have a local group that comes in and provides a lot of this stuff for the Old Wine celebration days. And they're going to be coming up to put on some performances. So it's like a WWE type style wrestling. These guys really know their craft. They're excellent at what they do, and it'll be a lot of fun. The National Guard is bringing a rock climbing wall for people. If they're not already tired enough from riding across Iowa at that point, they can try their hand at that. Local Cub Scouts will have a dunk tank. We're looking also to set up a human foosball, which for those unfamiliar, they lay out these massive hay bales, and then there's pipe that runs right across, and 2 goals on either side, and the teams alternate from pipe to pipe, and you're set up like a foosball table, but it's human size, so it's a lot of fun. It gets pretty hectic. I think the riders will thoroughly enjoy that. We'll have some bags set up as well, and then in terms of food, we'll have 2 full streets of vendors, providing various pies. I think we even have a roast beef dinner that day. There's all sorts of fun stuff. I think we'll have some snow cones, some pasta, some of the staples that all these Ragbri riders are used to, but with a little bit of variety. The challenge for being in the final overnight town is everybody's looking at the what to do and what not to do for the riders. And they've gone through this, we're the 6th night, I think. or the 7th night, and they've done this for a full week. They've had pasta and all this stuff. So we tried to change it up a little bit because, I love pasta, but every day for a week, I'd want to try something else. So that was a little bit challenging trying to diversify, but we think we've got a great group. There'll be some farm animals that'll be in a booth that riders can go up to, take pictures with, be able to touch calves and show animals. So our local dairy coalition, I believe, is putting that on. So it'll be a really cool event. And then our downtown businesses that serve, their food 365 will be open, and they'll be doing what they do best. So they'll get a nice taste of West Union.
And I'd imagine it's one of those cases that's a chance to show off your community, and hopefully many of the 25,000 people will come back for another visit. Is that one of the ultimate goals?
Oh, absolutely. We've got some really cool projects going on here. One of the things they'll get to see is our downtown, which has been 10 years ago, they redid our streetscape project, which they put in these permeable pavers, which really helps reduce flooding. I mean, it is eco-friendly. They've got 101 gardens downtown. So quite a few of those. It's so beautifully well done. It's actually the reason that one of the reasons I chose to stay here when I moved from Boston. So it's just, every day in my office, I get somebody who comes in and tells me just how gorgeous it is and how much they like it. So we hope that that'll be a nice draw. We also have a trail that's connecting West Union to Echo Valley State Park, which is one of the hidden gems in Iowa. It's actually one of the best stargazing parks in the entire state. So we'll have a nice multi-use trail, which will include bikes that, if they want to come back, which I hope they do, in a year, they'll be able to hop on that trail, go throughout the park, experience, one of the greatest parks that I personally have ever been to, and then come downtown and experience West Union on a little less of a busier day.
Yeah. As much as you love having 25,000 people in town, a little less busy from time to time would probably be a good thing. But as of this point, if folks want to get involved, if folks want to help out, maybe have bikers in their homes, volunteer with something going on, how can they get involved, and what opportunities are there for them to do so?
Yeah, as we're in the final stretch here, all of our committee heads are in the process of determining exactly how many volunteers they need. We know we need a lot. It's but to know exact numbers, I've requested them all to kind of give me three answers here. First is how many volunteers, what they're going to be doing, and how many hours we need them for. If we can answer those three questions, then we can more accurately match the volunteer to the job. So we hope to have that in the next week. But anybody who is already dead set committed, like, put me on the list. And then once you have that and can match me with something, they can give me a call at 563-422-3070. And that's just our chamber phone here, which I keep on me at all times. So all hours of the night, doesn't matter. Give me a call. And then the other place they can look is our Facebook page. So we have Ragbri West Union is the name of our Facebook page. It was created specifically for this event. And right at the top is a pinned post with all of the forms and resources, one of which being our housing application, another being our volunteer form. So, if they have any questions, they can give me a call. They can swing by the office here at 101 North Vine Street in West Union. We're right on the corner. It says Chamber of Commerce on there, and I'm always in the office. So I really hope that the community does take the opportunity to open up their homes and show, the rest of the country what Iowa Nice is all about.
Anything we're missing, Matthew? Anything else you want to pass on, as long as we got you on this morning?
Well, just some fun facts about the organization I work for. So I'm kind of in a unique amalgamation of a few different entities working together to better the community. We have our West Union Economic Development, which is the city side of things. our West Union Chamber of Commerce, which operates much like any other chamber of commerce in the country. We're a Main Street community, which focuses more on your downtown area. And then we also have our fairgrounds, which is now kind of partnered with us to help connect all these entities and grow, because our fairgrounds is right down in our, fourth of a mile from our downtown, and it's right on that Vine Street, and they'll drive right by it. And it's honestly one of the best fairgrounds I've ever seen in my entire life. They've got fantastic acts. They're growing exponentially. But the chamber this year is in its 100th year of operation. So 1922 it was formed. So as we haven't had a whole lot of time to promote that, we figured we'd just host Ragbri here. So it's been wonderful. But we do have an upcoming golf tournament. If people are interested, they can give me a call at the same number, the 563-422-30770. And it's 3-person best shot, and it's on June 18th. Additionally, we have a Shriners Parade this weekend coming to West Union, 10 groups of them. So it's going to be a pretty big deal. And, it's at 3:00 this Saturday, if anybody's in the area and would like to come by and take a look. But, it's just a lot of fun and fantastic events going on in a small community that might be overlooked. And I really hope that these people, anyone watching, Ragbri individuals, make a chance to come by and see some of that stuff, or to come back after they've been here on the 29th of July and really get to experience us on, on one of our normal days, just what. And I honestly think that if more people learned what we had to offer here, and just in Iowa in general, I mean, it would be the most populous state in the country, because you just can't beat it.
All right, Matthew, we appreciate you taking some time updating us on all things going on in the community of West Union as you prepare for Ragbri coming in on the 29th of July. I know it might be a hidden secret, but with guys like you working hard and promoting the area constantly, it might not be a secret too long. We appreciate the time, Matthew. We wish best of luck as you get ready for a busy summer in West Union.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Matthew Marsula from West Union Main Street and the West Union Chamber as well, talking about the community getting ready for Ragbri here in about 7 weeks. Hey, thank you to our guest on the program this morning. Hilton joined us to talk about the Winneshiek Medical Center Hospice Memorial Ride coming up this Saturday. We thank Janelle for conducting that interview with us. Travis Goedken, City Manager of Decorah, and Matt Marsula from Main Street, West Union. 7 weeks from tomorrow, it'll be Ragbri in West Union. We got an update last week on how Lansing is getting ready for their big day at the end of July, and West Union will be the last overnight stop. And that update provided by Matt this morning, and we appreciate him joining us as well. Don't forget, we put these shows out on YouTube each and every week. We realize that can't always be near a radio or a streaming device at 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning, but we want to get this content out to you, get the interesting people that we talk to out to you on your schedule. We post the links to our shows on all of the LA Communications Facebook pages. And if you want to check it out, just go to YouTube 6/9 Our Town program, and you can get it right there. Another way we provide the content to you on your schedule via LA Communications. Our thanks to our guest, our thanks to our sponsor, Decorah Bank and Trust. And most importantly, thank you for tuning in, for logging on, or for watching Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River.